Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you. Not another peep. Kinda
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Won't lock your door. 5, 6, gonna crucifix.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
All right, welcome everybody to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bonin here with you.
Welcome, guys. Scotty here, back with you again.
We are the Blood Brothers. Now we have Rudy joining us on the show.
Hello?
That's the dog fart from
The Jenny McCarthy Show.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Is that what you were thinking of
Yeah.
too? Wow, we were thinking the
Silent
same
but
thing.
deadly fart.
I just remember the one where they throw up. She throws up.
Really? I
And
don't know if I remember that.
Yeah, they're in the office, like an office meeting.
Oh, okay.
And she
I
throws
think, yeah.
up and she starts picking through her throw up. They're eating it.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
I remember that.
God, that show only lasted for like one season or something.
The Jenny McCarthy Show. Whatever happened to her? Does she even do anything anymore?
She's married. Well,
Yeah, she was married to Jim Carrey back in the
she's
day.
married to Mark Wahlberg's brother, man.
Oh,
Donnie
really?
Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Really?
Yeah.
She was married to Jim Carrey?
Yeah, she was back in the.
You sure about that?
Yeah, or she was dating him.
Wow.
I know that for sure.
Yeah,
Still hot as ever.
They had that where everyone in the room is farting and the camera goes on the dog and it's like,
Yeah. Big like pop sound. It's
was
so
awesome.
funny. Yeah, we'll see if we can YouTube that clip and see if we can find that again.
Yeah,
you
maybe
guys
so.
should search for it. Anyways,
so
here we are.
Creepshow 2.
Creepshow 2. I'm
Now,
having deja vu.
now I forgot to say, well, I didn't forget to say.
But
I'm going to say that those of you following along with these episodes, technically in timing, Day of the Dead should have been next. But since we did Creepshow, we thought we should do Creepshow 2 right after it.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back to Day of the Dead for next week.
Mm-hmm. It's only fitting.
While we're doing this George Romero stuff. So, yeah, Creepshow 2. It's been, like I said, I keep saying like I said because we fucking this is our second take here.
We had to retake
Just so
this.
everyone knows, we fucked up the first take. We did like 5 minutes of the podcast, and then we realized one of our mics wasn't on.
Yeah. Rudy and I were kissing by the mic that we're sharing,
Yeah.
and we had to redo it. Yeah.
So now I'm like repeating things, but you would have no idea that I'm repeating them, and
Yeah.
so
But like he said,
that's
we did
that's
it
why
twice.
I said like I said. Now I forgot what I was even gonna fucking say.
I don't know, but we carried on the long conversation.
Yes. well, we were talking about how Rudy watches that as a little kid growing up.
Yep. Oh yeah, how he rented it on VHS, and how we used to browse the horror section.
Yeah, at Blockbuster Video.
Blockbuster. That was the only way you picked a horror movie, is how badass the cover looked.
Yeah.
So like the bloodiest, the goriest, or if there's like almost a nipple showing
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the cover,
As
then you
kids.
knew there would be a nipple in the movie.
Yeah, you knew there'd be one of the ones, and this was actually, we were talking about Showtime Video, which is here in our hometown. It's been here for like 30 years, and it's going out of business now, of course.
Yeah.
But I remember all the VHSs there. With VHS is like an old thing now. But one of the movies that I remember seeing for the cover was Killer Nerd. You guys ever see that one?
No.
Killer Nerd.
No,
I saw
never
it
saw
at
Killer
our
Nerd.
friend Ian's house, and it was like had the best cover, but it was this nerd just killing people and like enjoying it, but it was like a comedy fest.
I don't know if you know what cover I always remember seeing. A couple covers was Dead Alive was one. Then House, the skeleton hand with the key.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to think if
There's one called Demons.
Demons.
This is the demon. This is this creepy lady face.
Okay. Yep, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Demon Knight was another one.
Yeah.
The cover, you're like, oh,
And
Demon Knight.
and the Faces of Death.
Yeah, I never watched that. That was in video rental?
Yeah, that was at Showtime.
Really?
Oh,
Isn't
wow.
that like the smut video or whatever?
They
Is
say
that-
they were real,
Oh, that's what the rumor was.
but they're all fake.
Yeah.
They're
It
all
was supposedly like
reenactments.
real murders or something.
Although, I mean, there's a few that look like they were real,
Yeah.
but I don't know about the one with the puppy.
I never watched it.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I never
Need to
saw it
watch
either.
it.
Showtime had like all the good classics. Like they had like the bootlegging like that you couldn't find anywhere else. They had like all the older horror movies that Blockbuster didn't have.
Yeah.
That's why I love Showtime.
I used to rent all the WWF.
I didn't know they put those out for rental.
Yeah,
Wow.
Really?
all the WrestleManias.
Oh, nice.
I don't really understand. Like, I never got into WrestleMania wrestling. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like they obviously it's planned, right? They plan out who's gonna win, and is it just according to who's getting more fan popularity at the time?
I don't know. Back then, I didn't care.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, there's probably a certain time in your life when you thought it was totally real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Up until a couple years ago.
Well, like what's his name? Well, Mick Foley, the Mankind guy or
Yeah.
whatever. He like got bloodied and stuff. He was,
I
like, in
think they
death
got fucked
matches.
up, but not
Yeah.
like, you know.
I remember
Like
those.
they would actually hit each other sometimes. Maybe they'd even mess up and actually hit
Mm-hmm.
each other. But
Yeah,
anyways,
but yeah, Creepshow too.
Creepshow
Yeah.
2.
So we saw this at some point as,
Yeah,
as we were watching it again.
I didn't remember watching it, but then as I was watching this movie, I was like, no, I've definitely seen this before.
Yeah.
And we all watched it together when we were crashing at this dude's house when we were in our band touring in Arkansas.
Yeah.
So I
Buddy-
do remember that.
Buddy Lloyd.
Buddy Lloyd.
Shout out to Buddy Lloyd if you're listening to this.
Hot Springs, Arkansas, baby.
I don't know Lloyd.
Birthplace of Bill Clinton. Yeah.
Lloyd.
The French were assholes. Dumb and Dumber. Gotta love that one.
All right. So yeah, Creepshow 1987, not directed by George Romero, but the screenplay was written by him, although the stories were based off of short stories written by Stephen King.
Yeah. Which I did. I missed George A. Romero not behind the camera directing, which kind of was a bummer. You know, I think maybe the movie would have been a little bit better through his eyes as directing.
I don't know.
But
Maybe
I
not.
thought it was still
The guy
good.
did a good job.
Yeah.
Michael Gornick was the director. He was actually also the cinematographer on the first Creepshow, and then was the director of photography on Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
So he knew Romero and probably did similar work, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
since they had worked together before.
There was a connection there for sure.
This had a $3.5 million budget and grossed $14 million
Yeah.
in the box office.
And compared to the first Creepshow, the first Creepshow was a higher budget, about $8 million, and it did $21 million in the box office.
Yeah, I wonder how they...
Yeah.
Usually you would think a sequel would, they just up the stakes and they'd spend
Yeah.
more money.
5 years later, yeah.
But, they got away without it.
There's more famous people in the first one.
Oh, that's true. They probably... All their budget went to actors. Was Ted Danson famous at the time? Was he pretty famous at that? I don't know.
82?
Maybe he did Cheers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cheers had to have been going
Cheers
by
was
then,
at that
right?
point. Yeah, I thought so.
I don't know.
Maybe it was. Yeah. I remember
that's what
watching
I'm
Cheers
guessing.
late night. We talked about that last time, but anyways.
Yeah. So there's 3 stories in this. It's supposed to be 5 stories, but 2 were scrapped because they didn't have enough budget. So obviously they didn't get as many backers for this one,
Yeah.
or as many investors. But one of them that was scrapped, Cat from Hell, came back and was used in the Tales from the Dark Side movie, which I need to refresh myself on because I haven't seen that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was called Cat from Hell. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what my favorite out of the 3 were, but
I think I like.
I think the Hitchhiker
Yeah,
was my favorite.
I think I like the Hitchhiker the best.
The Indian.
But
You
the
like
old,
the Indian?
yeah, the old Chief Woodenhead.
Yeah.
I didn't see him that first part when he was moving. I'm like, oh, he definitely moved. But then I remember seeing it before. I'm like, oh wait, he does move in this, and obviously he gets up and seeks revenge on the killers.
So in the beginning, Tom Savini plays the creep, the guy with all the shit
yeah.
on.
did not even look.
I
like
didn't
him
even
at
realize,
all.
and he didn't even do the effects for this movie. So, just was in it as an actor.
Someone did the effects on him. The tables were turned.
Yeah, they were probably all nervous.
Yeah,
I guess while we're
shit.
talking about effects, This is sort of one of the first projects where Nick Otero and Berger were together. Howard Berger, Greg Nicotero. Originally under the supervision of Ed French, so I think he gets the actual credit in the credits.
Yeah.
And then there's
As the
like
special
an
effects
assistant credit to Bergman. But they actually dropped him like during a third of the way through when they were finishing up the shoot on the Raft story because he wasn't getting shit done and he wasn't getting along with anybody. Yeah. And Howard took over. And it was shortly after this that Nicotero moved to L.A. and then they formed with the other guy, Mike?
Michael Cusick or something? Yeah.
It was shortly after this, Greg Nicotero moved to L.A. and they formed that K and BFX together. And now they do a bunch of movies and now Nicotero does Walking Dead and I don't know, it's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he's blown up big time.
So,
but when Michael Gornick, the director, he originally wasn't on the set. It was just Ed French.
Yeah.
And he called Nicotero and asked him to come, be the supervise Ed French in the special effects department. And at the time, he was working on Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Had to put that
so
plug in
they said they got the call while Nicotero and Berger were working on Evil Dead 2. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they all met filming Day of the Dead. Nicotero, Tom Savini was in on that, but Nicotero sort of supervised some things and made sure that props were, not lost and accounted for, and everyone was being made up in a timely manner. So
yeah. And speaking of the old chief, wooden head, he was actually sculpted on a human body, and it was actually a mime that was sculpted. This polyfoam was sculpted around.
Yeah, the guy that played
mime.
it was a mime.
Yeah, his name is Dan too.
Mime named Dan. Yeah.
So that's probably easier when you have a mime sculpting.
Yeah, well, I think they made us. There's two separate things. They made a sculpture of the chief, just a sculpture in itself, and then they cast the guy's body and they made a full body suit for the guy. And they both looked exactly alike, obviously.
Yeah.
And they painted him, they dusted him, and he moved real well because he was a mime, obviously. And I thought he did good. I mean, it would be tough to walk all stiff like that.
Yeah.
So,
it would be way, way tough.
You think you like Chief Woodenhead the best, Rudy? Really?
Yeah. What are your favorite parts of it, you think?
The thing that bugged me the most about that,
Yeah.
when he puts that war paint on,
Oh, yeah.
and his hands don't move, it's just always like cupped.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I want to see. Yeah, I was sort of. That's like must be a OCD thing or something. Because he dips in the paint, and you just want to see like his hands, his fingers crack.
Like this.
Yeah, just bend.
Instead of claw.
That did. It makes you feel like you can't move when you're watching that.
Yeah.
Like, gosh.
It was pretty good. I feel like throughout the whole movie, but mainly in Chief Woodenhead, they had the weirdest music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it was a family movie and they're all realizing they love each other or something like that. It was this weird ass music.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Came out good though. So that actress, guy that wrote down her name, Dorothy Lamour.
That plays the wife.
Yeah.
The old lady.
George Kennedy.
Yeah, so while we were watching that, I was like, this lady's fucking horrible. I was like, she's just reading her lines basically.
Not the best actress.
But she is like a famous old actress from black and white movies and stuff. And this was actually her last film she ever did. I found out. So I was very surprised. I thought she did a shitty job.
She played
Probably
Martha.
because she sucked.
Yeah, that's probably was her last one.
That gunshot when the guy with the long hair, the buff guy with the long hair shoots her, like
Oh yeah, it's like right next to her side.
in her side, and all,
like,
and her whole blouse just fills up with blood.
Yeah, but nothing else happens. There's no like she doesn't even move,
Yeah.
and there's no wound or anything.
If it was a real shotgun, it would have blew her to the ground.
Oh yeah, she would have fallen on the ground and she would have been missing a chunk from her ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, he's like sitting there. It's like duck hunt, pow, and her blouse just starts filling with blood. That's hilarious.
And then the guy that played the husband, George Kennedy, I recognize him from a lot of things. He's I like
I didn't look him up.
Like I want to think like Andy Griffith's show or something. But he's been in a lot of movies. I'm sure the fans know. But yeah, he was so intent on that Indian paint. Oh, gotta get that paint. He has his tongue sticking out. I'm like, put that tongue back in there. But yeah, it was. I liked the way it started off with Chief Woodenhead.
Yeah. So Fatso was played by David Holbrook, who's Hal Holbrook's son, who was in the first Creepshow. Just a little fun fact there. I just wanted him to die, and he did, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's so fucking annoying when they come into this store. And obviously that's how he's supposed to be, but I don't know, man. I just wanted to tear his head off.
He has that stupid ass laugh.
Oh, yeah. He's like... It was ridiculous.
Drinking his Miller High Lifes, and what was that show he was watching? What did it keep saying again?
Loco.
Oh, yeah. Loco.
Yeah.
And he kept, like, repeating it. It's like, God, Chief Woodenhead has got to kill this guy soon.
And I guess the show he's watching has... I don't know what it is, but it has the character like the Cisco Kid in it or something. Mm-hmm. Whatever the real show is called. And so then they used... the nicknames for the Raft one, Poncho and Cisco or whatever they used are from that TV show that Fatso's watching. So they sort of tie together there a little bit.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But
do you want to move on to the Raft? Or there's some other ones?
There for the Indian here.
Danny's got some good facts.
No, I think that was it for Chief Woodenhead.
Chief's got a woody head. It was
a good segment. Segment. The guy, I wonder if the guy playing the Indian dude was really an Indian, or if they painted his face a little bit and
got the long hair.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's a real Indian.
No, I was sort of thinking that too. I don't think he's real Indian. He looked a little pasty.
It's almost like black face, but
Indian.
Yeah.
Indian face.
This red face.
That's the new thing. Indian face. Red face. There you go.
Red man.
Red face.
Gonna go to this hair will get me paid and get laid.
I feel like. Are you any part Indian?
No.
I feel like you would part Indian somehow.
Yeah, Rudy, you kind of remind me of Indian.
Like, I just feel like because you like Chief Woodenhead, it made me think that you were part Indian somehow.
No. I don't know.
No? All right.
Probably because when I was little, the movie scared me.
Yeah.
So I never got past.
Yeah.
You always just watch Chief Woodenhead over and over again.
That scene when he does get killed, when Chief Woodenhead pulls him through the wall, that's pretty brutal. I mean, you see he like scalps him or something. I mean, you don't really see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought when he scalped him, and they show up and he's holding the hair, it looks sort of like less hair than the guy actually had. Mm-hmm. But maybe he didn't scalp him the whole way. Who knows? Yeah.
And then the guy, the Indian neighbor, wakes up in his bed and he has his.
Yeah, he's sleeping in like this single bed with a tin, like a shitty backboard, and I wouldn't think that he would sleep. Bed. Yeah, metal frame bed. I was like
Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin.
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
Benjamin the Indian. Benjamin the engine.
Benjamin didn't even go inside the convenience store to see if his friends were alive. The story just ended.
Yeah, what the fuck? I mean, it's like a bloody massacre, and he's just.
He probably knew what happened.
I got my jewels back.
Got his jewels back, and he knew what happened.
Maybe he's coming back for later to read the rest of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was probably drunk the whole time, so. I'm just joking. Sorry if you're an Indian and you're listening to this. Not all Indians are drunk. But he was.
Do you want to take a shower with me? Remember the guy on that tour? This guy.
What was his name? We were on tour in
Oklahoma.
Was he in the band? No,
yeah,
he was in the band.
It was in Oklahoma, right?
He was a bass player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it? I don't know if it was Oklahoma. Oh yeah, we were playing a show in Oklahoma,
and he was Indian.
This Indian guy was the bass player of a band.
And we went to party.
Oh yeah, they invited us to a party out in the middle of nowhere.
At their place in the middle of nowhere.
Then we left because I made that excuse that I was sick.
Oh yeah, because none of us wanted to be there. Right? We showed up and we're like, oh, this is really lame.
And then this guy, the Indian guy's like, "Do you want to take a shower with me?" I'm like, "What? Do you want to take a shower with me?" I'm like, "A shower? No, a shot. I'm like, oh, a shot. Do you want to take a shot with you? I thought you wanted me to take a shower with you. I'm like, no, I do not want to take a shower with you. But luckily, it was just a
Is
shot.
that what we did? We're like, Rudy's sick.
Yeah, that's what we do all the time.
He's got a shit big time. He's about to blow chunks. We gotta go.
We need to go to the hotel now. Yeah, that was a good one to get out of that. That house was God.
Were you there when we went to that girl's trailer and it was full of cats?
I don't think so. Was I there?
No, that was our second incarnation of
Oh,
Poolside.
yeah. Yep.
This is a girl.
Wait. Second, what do you mean?
When we went to Oklahoma the first
And kept
Oh, when you guys went with, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
that girl's trailer was full of cats.
Like full of cats?
Yeah.
She was a crazy cat lady?
Yeah, but she was like a scene girl. She
Okay.
was full of cats, and yeah, I told him I was allergic to cats and took off.
Were you supposed to crash there?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You were going to sleep there?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we've slept in some shady places, but I wouldn't have done that.
Many floors.
God, just some of the worst. I remember that one time we were sleeping. I don't even remember where, what town, what band. We were at that dude's house, sleeping on the floor in the basement. It was like 100 degrees.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I remember
You
that.
shared that fan.
Yeah, there was like this little mini rotating fan, and me and Rudy like
I remember that.
laid on the floor like right in front of it. It was oscillating.
Yeah, we laid head to head so they could go between our faces.
And whoever it was, whose house it was, they stayed up with their friend like all night upstairs talking. I don't know if they were doing drugs
Was
or
that
what.
Kansas or Oregon or
I don't know. It was hot as fuck.
One of
Like
those.
I hate sleeping on the floor, and his bed was right there. And had I known he's just gonna be up sniffing or whatever he was doing all night, I would have just slept on his
I
bed.
think that was in Kentucky.
Yeah, maybe it was in Kentucky.
Maybe hot as hell.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Remember that time we stayed at a kid's house and he did tattoos in the basement? And we slept in his living room. Well, it was like a dining room. We slept on the floor, and Ian was with us.
Really?
Yeah, and that dog started
Oh, I remember that.
helping
yeah.
Ian
The
when he was
dog.
asleep.
Was it the same? No, maybe that's not the same dog that was like butt rubbing all around. That was in Lake Tahoe.
No, that was in Reading.
Oh, okay. I can't remember the one.
No, this is the
Ian.
one where you, Scotty, and Ian were playing cards in the back of the van because you guys.
Oh,
were-
yeah, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that.
We weren't old enough to be in the bar
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
That's
I remember
right.
that. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that dog was humping Ian.
Oh
while he was
yeah,
asleep.
and he didn't even notice it. He's just sleeping.
And he,
Dog's humping him.
and he blew jizz all over his sleeping bag.
He did?
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
I remember
The
that.
dog
Oh, God.
came all over the sleeping bag
It was
after
bad.
humping his leg.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Ian was pissed.
And Ian was dead asleep the whole entire time.
Next morning, we're like, do you know what happened, Ben?
All
They
right,
stayed up
well,
all night.
that's great.
On that note,
Okay.
let's move on to the raft.
Yeah,
There
the
is
raft.
some gooey stuff involved in this too.
Yeah,
Yep.
the raft. So, so I failed to mention that the Chief Woodenhead and the raft were both filmed in Arizona. They flew out to there, and the sort of effects headquarters was an old Texaco station that they cleared out and used to create all the effects in. So they called it the FXaco.
FXaco,
station.
yeah.
Pretty sly there.
And then the Hitchhiker was filmed in Maine.
Yeah, in Bangor, Maine.
Bangor, Maine. Maine.
So yeah, they're down in Arizona. They did film these in order. So then they filmed the raft, and so first of all, the water I guess was freezing cold.
Yeah.
You know, in the movie it's freezing cold. The girls talk about it.
They
and
weren't
everything.
acting. I mean, it was really freezing.
Yeah, so much so that what's the actor's name? I have it written down somewhere.
Daniel
but-
Beer.
Yeah, Daniel Beer, who played Poncho or Randy, had to go to the hospital for hypothermia because he was turning green, I guess.
Yeah. So if he wouldn't have gone to the hospital, the crew actually wanted him to stay and finish it,
Yeah.
but the director Michael Cornick stopped it. Like, nope, he's got to go. He won't come back if he finishes this out with hypothermia.
Yeah.
So yeah, that can happen on a set.
Yeah, and I guess for the this creature, the blob, right? The oil slick or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Trash bag.
Trash
A bunch of
bag.
trash
the,
bags put together.
The massive trash bag, or the merconium in the lake. Is that what you? Isn't that what the baby stuff is called?
Yeah.
Mercomium. I don't even know.
Something like that. Yeah.
You're the one that's had a baby, Rudy. What the heck?
I didn't really pay attention.
I'm about to have one. So, anyways, yeah, I guess they painted latex on like the garage floor, and then filled it with bits of polyfoam and then junk, cans and all this shit, and it dried up and made this blob form thing. And they made a few different ones. You'll notice that it's different formations. Sometimes it's like circled, and when it's chasing the guy, it looks like a comet almost. Mm-hmm. So they made it that way, and then I think they had it floating on PVC piping with divers underneath it, help guiding it. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely a big undertaking in all this freezing water too. Yeah. And Howard Bergman, who at this point they're about halfway through the shoot of The Raft. This is when Ed French got booted off the set and flew back to L.A. and Howard Bergman took over as the lead for effects. I guess he's deathly afraid of water or hates water, so he's out there on the dock and filming and just dealing with it. But I don't know who's afraid of water that much.
Yeah,
just a little pond.
Just a little lake.
Open water.
Are you?
Yeah.
You can't like be in a lake or something.
Well, you got this black blob floating around, man.
I mean, if I can't see like land, yeah. No.
Yeah, that's open.
What
water.
if you can see land, but you're like hundreds of yards away though?
Pretty creepy.
You're still creeped out. Mm-hmm. So like you just don't like to go swimming in the ocean?
No.
Have you ever gone swimming in the ocean? Yeah. Okay.
Well, we even went in Cali when we went on tour and stuff.
I don't know if we went in.
Or we just dipped our feet in. Yeah. That's right.
You never know what's underneath there.
Yeah. It's crazy. So the other guy, he was smoking the joints and stuff.
Yeah.
He swam all the way out there, and then he comes up with 2 dry joints.
Yeah, the joints would not be dry.
How are those joints dry?
Even if he had them in a pill case or something, they would not be totally dry. Mm-hmm. That was bullshit.
And then
he's hiding them right next to his cock too.
Yeah,
in his little Speedos.
Yeah, I mean because he dipped it, he full body in. I don't. Yeah, dry joints. Whipped him out. I caught that.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened.
And then the whole time they were swimming there, the poncho guy's like, hurry. At that point, if I saw this after the first death, I would have ran and swam away the first time, but that's not the point. You can't run and swim away from this thing. It's
I would have swam way earlier. Instant that it did anything shifty, When she was first fucking it with her hand and it reached up and grabbed her, I would have been off the dock, the other side. I'm out.
Yeah. That first kill, when she's getting swallowed up by the thing, I would have been gone.
Yeah, the idiot, seriously. I just hate that when you're watching a movie, you're like, get the hell out of there, swim.
Mm-hmm. One of those ones.
Yeah, get the fuck out of there. You could, I don't know.
And then they sleep, they go through a full night, because then the guy with the joints is gone now.
Yeah.
His legs get bent up. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That death scene. And then they wake up and Poncho's holding the girl and just decides he wants to
date rape her or something.
Date rape her all of a sudden.
What the hell's going on here?
Dude, this is Black Blob trying to kill you guys. This is not the time for this right now.
Yeah. So weird. She's like, nah.
And she doesn't even wake up.
Yeah, who wouldn't wake up while your boobs are being fondled?
We did see some boobs.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, we saw some boobs.
No more Friday the 13th. It was like a given, but these last few movies, haven't been.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Oh, what's that sound?
It
is
the horror halftime.
Holy shit!
All right, already into the horror halftime here. Horror halftime is where we give you something to do and you do it, and if we like what you did, then we send you some free shit. That's as simple as it gets.
Bingo was her name-o.
Yep. So, what?
You agreed with me the first time I said it.
I did. I just do that a lot because you just say the dumbest shit most of the time.
Hey,
and I'm
it's random.
Yep. Uh-huh.
It's random funny.
I just keep moving
it's good
on.
Stuff, right, Rudy? See?
I just keep moving on. So, I had something in my head. I know we already talked about a pre-planned thing, but we mentioned some earlier, and I was like, oh, we should do that. But now I can't remember. Anyways.
Well, we can go with what's in your head, or we can go with what we pre-planned.
Oh, it was totally the red face thing, but that might be stepping out of line.
Yeah, it might be.
Wow.
We could feel it.
No.
Probably not.
Okay, no.
Let's
we'll
go with the original.
All right. So back to all things. We do a lot of memes here.
We're meme city. We need to do something.
If you
besides
happen to
memes.
be an Indian for Halloween and painted your face red, you can send that in, and we'll probably give you something. But the real around time will be your best hitchhiker meme. Thanks for the ride, lady. Now, we posted one announcing the show yesterday. That was pretty funny, so you can't steal that one. But do a thanks for the ride, lady meme. And actually, we're coming out with a shirt for that will be the prize. So if you want a shirt that says thanks for the ride, lady on it with the guy, the design is being created right now.
Yes, one of a kind.
You will be able to find on the horror store. Click on the horror store link on our site. That's being built right now, so there's no products there yet. But yeah, so do that. Post the meme, facebook.com/cultclassichorror. Post it on our page, and go to Instagram.com and post it on Instagram and tag us at Cult Classic Horror in it. Cool.
And you can't do the here's my number, call me crazy. Yeah. Here's my number. Thanks for the ride, lady.
That's the one that we posted.
And I flumbered the words, so you can't do that one. Okay. I just wanted to sing it for you guys really quick.
Should have your acapella group.
Yeah,
sing it.
I know. Scotty's in a fucking acapella group right now.
Group. Yeah.
All right, that concludes the horror halftime.
All right, let's move on.
Now we can talk about the acapella group if we want. Because every time I talk about it, I totally think of the breakup.
Yeah.
When her cousins or whatever is rehearsing in the apartment. Yeah. And he beats up Vince Vaughn.
And they sing like during dinner time, and yeah, I remember that.
Or the Troublemakers in Pitch Perfect.
I haven't seen Pitch Perfect, so
I have.
That's awesome.
No, we can keep going on the raft. We can skip, skip the acapella.
On the raft.
It's the very end. Fucking poncho. By the way, the yellow Speedos, I guess that was a thing back in the 80s. God, I wouldn't be caught dead in those things.
No banana hammock.
What were you just about to say?
Yeah, but when I thought of this, I thought of yellow Speedos. I don't know why. But when Poncho's swimming back, he finally...
True banana hammock. There's, it's yellow, and there's a banana-looking thing in it.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Poncho, swimming back. Anyone want to interrupt me?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sorry. So... he finally gets the brains to swim back, and then he just sits there on land looking at the freaking blob. It's not the blob, it's the oil slick, whatever. And he just sits there, and obviously it can come out, and I just would have kept running my ass off. But no, it swallows him up, and it was a good ending, I guess. So they all died. And of course, the car wouldn't still be playing music after a day and a half. After 2 days, after a day and a half. That was a strong battery inside that old car. And yeah, it was. And I didn't hear the music playing when it was dark out, when they were shivering in the cold. So the song must have went out for a second. So another little fun fact is that Laverne, the girl, dark-haired girl in that scene, she's wearing a shirt that says Horlicks University on it. And that's actually stenciled on the crate from the first Creepshow. Horlicks University. Wow. So there you go. We got some similarities here. You're welcome. Yes, thank you. I didn't even know that. All right, yeah. I think that's all I had for the raft. Yeah. It was kicked off. Oh no, I had a couple more. They built that thing, and then they used for the slime. They use this shit called ultra slime. I don't really know what that is, but it's a thing like ultra slime. Ultra slime. So they had these air mortars planted in there with ultra slime on top of them. And so, like, for instance, when she's messing with it and it grabs her hand, it's actually a reverse shot where they had I shouldn't say it's reverse. It's sort of slowed down and changed a little bit, because how it was really shot is there's like this air mortar underneath the black stuff with slime on top, and then she reached down and they exploded it right under her hand, and it like splashed up on her arm. Oh shit! And so they just slowed it down a little bit and made it look like it was grabbing her. And they, when the other girl gets sucked in, oh no, it's still her. It's still her. She gets sucked in. It almost looks like a hand like reaches up and grabs her shoulder. Yeah, that's pretty badass. So yeah, that is someone's hand. They had some divers underneath that were like puppeting through the slime with the ultra slime there. So they used gallons and gallons of this ultra slime stuff, and they even ran out at one point.
they're like, we need 10 more gallons of Ultra Slime. Howard Berger was talking about how he called Nicotero and like, I need 10 gallons of Ultra Slime stat. And they made all this stuff. And they used a bunch of it, gallons and gallons of it, to make that effect where it's sort of bubbling through the floorboards, you know? What they did is they mixed it, and I forgot what the finished product was called. It's Ultra Slime with something, and it makes it a little more solid. And they basically they mixed a bunch of that into these containers, and then they were pushing it up through the floorboards, so it would like Gak or something.
Yeah,
that's all I could think of.
Like Gak.
Nickelodeon Gak.
True Goo, Gak. That's what
True Goo,
what it
yeah,
looked
for
like
bike
sure.
tires.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was sort of interesting how they did that. And I guess this True Slime would not come off anything. They had to use bleach and scrub it, even your hands. And so when she's like comes out of it and it's all over her, you know.
Oh, she was screwed.
Well, they had a stunt double for her for that scene.
Oh.
And she was screwed.
So the stunt double did it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But
mad at many showers after that shoot.
Yeah. So I wanted to just throw that in there. All right, now we can move on.
Any more from the raft?
No, we can move on to.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
The hitchhiker.
The hitchhiker.
Thanks for the ride, lady. God, I love it.
Thanks for the ride.
Thanks for the ride, lady. You said it like 20 times.
This is my favorite. I thought it was fucking hilarious. This is my favorite one because I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, it was funny, and it was bloody, and actually Howard Berger did all the effects for this one. Of course, he was running it, but it was.
It was Howard Berger, right? Or was Nicotero? They were all working.
They were all working on it, but he was. I think he was the one that had the main idea for the.
Well, he was now in charge, so. But yeah, when they started plotting everything out, he was originally just totally in charge of.
Yeah,
the hitchhiker.
That's right,
and that's probably still what happened.
That's right, because Ed French had some part in the raft still, so he wasn't completely.
But yeah, it was good. They filmed, so they flew back up to Bangor, Maine to film this one, and it actually was freezing. It was snowing. It would snow. They had to wait. It would get warm. They would do some filming. Then it would freeze over again. It would snow over the frozen snow, and it was just a pain in the ass. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, there was one of the things that I first pointed out in the very first scene when the main lady is having an affair with the guy there, and they just got done doing it, and 6 orgasms, by the way, man.
Yeah.
For $150, that's not too bad.
Yeah, and she even had like high skirt and cardboard tits.
Oh yeah. She kind of reminded me from the girl from The Abyss. She kind of looked like her. I forgot what her name is. It's like, I don't know, but the main girl. She
reminded me of the girl in Ace Ventura, who's really supposedly Finkel or whatever, but then
Ray Finkel.
But then it's a girl actually, and he's trying to prove that it's not a girl, and he keeps pulling her clothes off
with that short, frizzy, curly hair.
Like granny panties.
Yeah, she looked like her, but it wasn't her. But it looked like her.
It did. But the funny fact that I was going to point out, after they get done having sex, you see the guy light up a cigarette, and right behind his right shoulder, you see a Stephen King book, a book with Stephen King.
Yeah, which I guess is
author.
It. I looked it up because we saw that. Like, we noticed that while watching, but they said it's the book It, but I couldn't read. I couldn't make out what it actually was.
You think you'd be able to make out it, but
yeah, I don't know. It was all red and big and.
Well, all I saw was Stephen King, so that was cool. Yeah. That was probably a placement, you think, that they placed it.
Because Stephen King wrote it.
Yeah. Stephen King's going to put his book there. Heck yeah.
So yeah, they. So obviously the hitchhiker keeps getting more and more beat up throughout this whole thing, and the last version of the hitchhiker was basically a fucking skeleton with like a jaw hanging open, and so for that they did use a robot. It was sort of puppeted by Howard Berger. And then it was, I think, his hand that was grabbing the other side of the head. And so, yeah, it was by that time, it was not even a real person anymore. But, yeah, this is my favorite one. I liked it. It was, I don't know,
and
classic.
And we have the cameo. Stephen King is in it as
the truck driver.
The truck driver. What happened here?
Truck is in it.
Yeah, he's a truck driver. He said fuck a couple times, and he said it a bunch in Creepshow. I think he likes cussing a lot. I don't know.
I can see that.
He's like me.
He's so young in it. It's so weird seeing him young. You know, well, obviously.
Think of how much shit he's written. Like,
A lot.
Like from
all those short
Creepshow,
stories,
yeah.
or even before that. Just, I could never write that much shit.
Shining, Pet Cemetery.
I struggle to
so
write.
many.
The Green Mile.
Green
Yeah,
Mile,
even stuff that's not technically horror.
Stand
Supernatural.
by Me.
Stand by
yeah.
me. Yeah, that was a good one.
God, he has written.
I always got so freaked out by the dead kid at the end of Stand By Me.
Yeah, that's when we always
Ray
watched it.
Brower.
Yeah.
We always watched that as
I got
Ray Brower.
I got so freaked out.
We watched that. That was our favorite. One of our favorites growing up as kids.
I
Watching
don't
it.
know. Yeah.
We used to watch it on tour on the laptop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to look away.
That's
I was
right.
like, oh, I think we watched The Shining like 4 times on tour,
Yeah.
at least.
One of my favorites, of course.
But yeah,
as we all
Stand
know.
By Me made me afraid of the dead body part, and then getting leeches on my dick.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was always forever afraid of leeches after that movie.
And then getting caught on a bridge where the train comes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and they jump off to the side.
Yeah.
Which, if the river was deep enough, that didn't look like too bad of a jump.
Yeah.
100
feet, maybe.
Yeah.
Good movie though.
Yeah, it was.
Good move.
River Phoenix, rest in peace. Main character.
Indeed.
Another thing I wanted to point out for The Hitchhiker, and Danny and I saw this. I don't know if you saw this, Rudy, while you were watching the movie.
Yeah.
But as the car stops, it's after. Oh yeah, it's the first time that she looks back and he's walking up to her with the Dover sign, and it's the first time. It's after she hits him and she drives away, and then we see him walking. She looks back one time and sees him, and then the second time she looks back, there's this in the very left side of the screen, you see like a crew member's head.
Yeah.
At the very tip of
pretty
his
obvious.
head. It's not the thanks for the ride lady guy. That's
Yeah,
all.
it's just a crew member. I
It's
mean,
like-
he's not in the
it's a
scene
crew
or
member that's
anything.
not in the scene.
Yeah, and I actually looked it up, and there's like 3 parts where it happens, but I only noticed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were watching the movie, I'm like, what the fuck? There's like like a fifth of a face right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, you saw it there.
Her like edge of the windshield is blocking most all of them, except for some of his
Mm-hmm.
face is sticking out. And you're like, yeah, that's a crew member for sure, because
Yeah.
he's just like looking straight ahead and looking around.
Yeah,
Just like-
his hair's all done up nice. He's like a white shirt on.
I don't think you saw that.
Yeah. I saw his hair. It was like fully gelled. No, I was joking.
No.
I didn't see that
No,
much.
you could not see shit. Basically saw like a nose and maybe a forehead or something
Yeah,
like that.
half an eye sticking out.
So, fucked up there. But, yeah, I guess I don't have that much facts about Hitchhiker 1.
Yeah, it was, like you said, it was mainly funny because the guy just kept getting run over and he was on the sunroof and she drove through the woods like 20 times and her car made it home. I couldn't believe her car made it home after all that damage.
I read, too, there was like a discrepancy of the amount of snow on her windshield when she wakes up and then it goes back to her again. And
Oh, okay.
I just read some mess ups. There was like during the Chief Chief Woodenhead. They like knock over the magazine rack or something, or a rack of things, and then it keeps changing positions on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I read that
jeez.
too. I mean, the obvious one was the Creepshow comics on the magazine rack.
Yeah, yeah.
But, and there was a bunch of other ones too that I was reading about, but those are the main ones that I remembered.
You also forget about the mini story between the
Oh yeah,
stories.
yeah, duh.
Oh, yeah, the mini
kid.
story.
The little
Duh.
boy.
Yeah, with the
comic
Venus
story.
flytrap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guess those bullies.
The bullies keep, they keep,
Yeah, that like big, sort of fat bully with eyeshadow. What was up with that?
He's a punker.
That's
he's a
right.
punk guy.
Yeah, he was a punker.
And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the other kids that were picking on him, the voices, I like the voices that were coming out of them seemed like really little kid voices.
And they looked like men.
And they looked like
Yeah.
men. Yeah. Like, what the hell?
That was a good little side story though.
I like that side story.
Venus flytrap eating them all.
It kind of made up for it not having the other 2 stories that were supposed to be in it.
Yeah, it was weird. I guess obviously the stories were just longer because Creepshow 1 had 5 stories in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really notice them being that much longer though than I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess they were though, not arguable.
Yeah,
But-
it's different from the first because it seemed like it was much shorter, which it probably was. It was much shorter, but I was expecting, even though I have seen it, I was expecting to see like 4 or 5 stories. But
Yeah, and I mentioned this last episode when Rob was on that. I like the format of these little short stories, and like we were saying, they don't really do it that much anymore, except for the VHS movies, sort of.
yeah,
Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood, yeah.
Tales from the Crypt,
And it's been a while since those were out.
What's that other one?
Crypt Keeper.
The Twilight Zone movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing recent besides VHS, right?
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark on Nickelodeon.
Yeah. What?
Isn't that one? Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
Don't
that
Be
show.
Afraid of the Dark.
Yeah, VHS. Yeah.
Which are pretty good, like I said last episode.
two.
I like them.
I need to see those still.
Dude, I just watched It Follows. That was creepy as shit. I just had to bring that up real quick. Have you seen that movie, Rudy?
No.
I need to watch that.
Watch it tonight.
Wait, should I watch It Follows? Should I watch It Follows first, or the other one you told me about?
What other one did I tell you about?
As Below.
Oh, As Above,
that
So
was good
Below.
too,
That
man.
was really
Which
good.
one should I watch first?
Whichever is available. I think As Above was on Netflix. I don't know if it
still
is
is.
anymore. It
As
is?
Above, So
Yeah.
Below.
But I watched It Follows on Showtime On Demand the other night because I have that. I don't know. You guys probably don't have Showtime. Are you probably have Showtime, right, Rudy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, tonight you have to watch. Like seriously, I'm not joking.
I think it's on demand.
It's really it's on Showtime On Demand. That's where I watched it. Yeah, It Follows.
Does Brooklyn watches horror movies, right?
Sometimes.
Nice.
It's not her favorite.
No. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the one that creeps her out the most is Paranormal Activity 3
Oh,
3?
Paranormal
Is that the one with
Activities.
the girls?
with the little girls.
Oh, yeah.
that
They have
one
their
was
beds up
that
top.
one was pretty
you
creepy.
know that one little one looks like Shannon.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to watch it again.
Yeah, when I first watched the first Paranormal, that freaked me out.
Dude, the first one, I was freaked. I was
Yeah.
in my apartment. Me and Shannon watched it together, but it was totally dark. We went straight to bed. I was like, oh,
I saw it in
jeez.
theaters, and everyone screamed in the theaters.
I don't know. The one that I liked the most, I don't know, was the marked ones.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay,
With
which
the
one
Mexican
is?
kid.
When,
It's
when
like
he's
the-
like possessed.
Yeah.
Is that like the apartment complex, right?
Yeah.
And he like lives above.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of forgetting that one, but I've seen it.
Paranormal Activity, the marked ones.
The worst one was the neighbor. Was the
With that little boy.
fourth one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, where like they're neighbors with, and the little boys are friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the worst one.
And it ends up being that little boy's aunt across the street.
Yeah, I mean it was sort of freaky when he went over there at night and like started going through her house and like
Yeah.
then they end up in the backyard and there's like all those witches out there or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
That was pretty creepy, but anyways,
So yeah,
I'll have
these
to
are
tell you more about It Follows after we get up. We're just talking about random shit now.
homework to do, guys. Watch those movies.
Watch It Follows. I thought it was good.
Oh,
We
the
actually-
visit. The visit was good too.
Oh, The Visit. Yeah, well, I have to watch that. I can watch it tonight. I got it. Actually, if you go to cultclassichorror.com, Michael did a blog about It Follows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's really critical about movies, but he thought that the idea of it was super, super creepy, but that it could have been executed better.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was pretty good. So,
Nice.
anyways, that's
That wraps up
yeah,
Creepshow
that's all
2.
in Creepshow 2. I don't think we're gonna do 3 because Romero had nothing to do with it whatsoever. Neither
Yeah.
did Tom Savini or anything. In fact, Tom Savini's quoted as saying that technically the third one could be considered the Tales from the Dark Side movie.
Yeah.
It was sort of like the third Creepshow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll do that one either because I don't want to extend George Romero too long, but we're trying to hit a lot of the classics and
Yeah.
everything.
So we'll do Day of the Dead next week.
Yeah,
And
and then we'll see where we. I want to
See where
do.
we're
I
at
want to do
then.
Day for sure and Land of the Dead for sure. We'll see about Diary and someone. A couple people have requested the 1990 Living Dead remake. So
So yeah. We'll
and
see.
1990 Night of the Living Dead.
The one with like more funny.
I've seen it, but I don't even remember a minute of it. I'm not even joking. That's how bad I am with movies. I'm so bad with movies.
Yeah. But
Because I watch so many. I love movies so much. I literally watch almost at least one movie a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you see one, you're like, oh yeah, I have seen this.
I mean, I shouldn't say that. Like, like that probably sounds really bad to you guys listening, but I don't really watch TV. Like you guys might go home, you might watch like The League and Mad Men and stuff, or
Walking Dead.
Yeah, or Walking Dead. But I watch like no TV except for Game of Thrones, of course.
Yeah.
You have to fucking watch
you
Game
gotta
of
watch Game of
Thrones.
Thrones. And Walking Dead, you watched Walking
No,
Dead.
really, you don't watch Game of Thrones, dude. You have HBO.
Dude, you need to watch Game of Thrones. You need
Dude.
to start it.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of TV series.
Yeah.
It's like a movie though. The production
is.
value is a movie value.
And it's gruesome as hell too.
Although the only one I hate to admit it, but the only one I have seen is Pretty Little Liars.
Oh my god.
God.
Fucking Pretty Little
My
Liars.
fiancé
Shannon
watches
like that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, and American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, American Horror Stories. I've watched the first 3
I
seasons.
haven't
of
watched that.
So
The
it's
old-
pretty good.
I only watched like one all the way through The Coven.
Really?
Oh, The Coven. Yeah,
I could like
that
count,
was pretty good.
I could list how many full series I've seen. Unfortunately, it like started with the OC when I was trying to bang my now wife, and yeah.
Yeah.
But recently, all it was like Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy. That's like
Oh no.
it.
And Dexter. I forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah,
I
Dexter.
watched
Yeah,
Dexter.
I watched
I
Dexter.
watched
Dexter's
that.
awesome. I watched that too.
Anyways, so yeah, I watch a lot of movies. I forget them, so that's why I don't know if I have seen Night of the Living Dead 1990 or remember it. But we'll see if we
But we'll
cover
see if
that.
we cover it.
All right, cool. Thanks for joining us, you guys.
Yeah, thanks,
Make
guys.
sure to go to cultclassichorror.com, check out the horror store, participate in the horror halftime, and you might get a Thanks for the Ride Lady badass shirt.
Yes, goddamn right.
All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.